Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Sky Sports in Germany, Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund have agreed a fee for Jadon Sancho. It's 85 million euros, which equates to around 73 million in pound sterling. So Jadon Sancho to Manchester United now is very, very close. The Daily Telegraph said earlier on that Man United are expected to formally agree a deal for Sancho this week. The Athletic said that Man United are nearing an agreement for Sancho. Fabrizio Romano said that Jadon Sancho's transfer to Man United is almost complete, and he did mention that Liverpool were interested in Sancho in case one of their star players left. We had an opening offer of £67 million rejected for Sancho. So yeah, the fee's now been agreed. The personal terms have been agreed. I think the agent fees have been agreed. A 5-year contract has been agreed. Jadon Sancho is set to become the second highest paid player at Man United. We're willing to offer him around £350,000 a week. Borussia Dortmund have identified their replacement for Sancho. They've been looking at Daniel Malin from PSV. He said not so long ago that Sancho's medical was delayed. He said it's likely he will undergo his medical after England's involvement at Euro 2020. Not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund told us to pay a take-it-or-leave-it asking price of 77 million plus add-ons. Borussia Dortmund have already made it clear that they want Sancho's future resolved before they begin their pre-season tour on the 23rd of July. But last week it did say, didn't it, that Man United are expected to complete the signing of Jadon Sancho at some point this week. So the Jadon Sancho transfer saga is coming to an end at last. It has been a long-running transfer saga because we've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years or so. And there's always been something in Sancho to Manchester United. I knew it was going to eventually happen because, it's been stemming from reliable journalists. Fabrizio Romano's spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too has Christian Fark from Bild. Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close because the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and a contract and that had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him last summer is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. And don't forget, last year, Dortmund set a deadline. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. But he'll be a great signing for Manchester United. Sancho will fit in our team perfectly. It's beneficial as well in coming to Man United because he's got a good friendship with Marcus Rashford. He's still young, got a lot of development in him, and I'm convinced he can replicate what he did at Borussia Dortmund when he comes to us. Sancho scored 50 goals in 137 appearances for Dortmund. He endured 4 years with them and had a contract with Dortmund till 2023. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City. So Dortmund are obviously making a huge profit on the player. I think Solskjaer made it clear that he wants to make around 4 more signings when Sancho to Man United is official. There's a good chance that Eduardo Camavinga will be our next signing after Jadon Sancho, because it says Man United are ready to move for Camavinga once Man United have completed the signing of Jadon Sancho. We've been given the green light to sign Camavinga. He says Man United will meet with Camavinga's representatives this week. Man United have set the price for Camavinga. We can sign him for around £40 million. It actually said that Rennes won £85 million. It says Man United and Rennes have agreed a deal which will see Camavinga come to Manchester United. The player has spoken about Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Obviously, Real Madrid and that have been in for him. Arsenal are interested in him and PSG are in for him. Rennes are prepared to cash in for Camavinga rather than risk him leaving on a free transfer next year because his current contract expires next year. Camavinga has been capped by France 3 times. He made his debut for Rennes at just the age of 16. He's made 82 appearances for Rennes and he's been in their senior squad since like 2018. He's been at Rennes since 2013. Man United could sign Raphael Varane in this summer transfer window. Raphael Varane is demanding £400,000 a week in wages. And apparently Man United are unwilling to meet his £400,000 a week wage demands. So his wage demands are the stumbling block of, Varane coming to Manchester United. Florentino Perez, who's the Real Madrid president, he recently gave us an update on Raphael Varane. And he insists that Real Madrid have not received any official bids for Varane. Real Madrid believe that Varane has agreed terms with Man United. Raphael Varane can leave Real Madrid and he's made it clear that he wants to come to Manchester United. And Man United have been progressing with the Varane deal. Now, not so long ago, it says Real Madrid could sell Varane for £40 to £45 million, which is a bargain. But not so long ago, we had a £50 million bid turned down for Varane. Real Madrid were demanding £80 million. We've held talks with Varane's agents. Varane rejected a 2-year contract extension at Real Madrid. His contract talks at Real Madrid stalled a while ago, didn't they? Romano said not so long ago that Varane was refusing a contract at Real Madrid. We went in for him 10 years ago under Sir Alex Ferguson. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced, and if he came to the Premier League, I can assure he would exceed expectations. Varane and Harry Maguire would complement each other very well in our backline if Varane comes in. Varane's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them over 10 years, and he's won like 18 major honours. You obviously know the news on Pau Torres from Villarreal. He's been another centre-half on our agenda. So yeah, Tom Eaton's obviously come in from Villa on a 3 transfer. Romano said the other week that Tom Heaton completed his medical with Man United. He's signing a contract until 2023 with an option of an extra year. Tom Heaton is obviously our replacement for Romero because we released Romero not so long ago. And Jadon Sancho is incoming. So yeah, I'm expecting Manchester United to enjoy a very, very good summer transfer window. I think Solskjaer's going to get the players he wants to recommend in. But the board did say, didn't they, that they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings, despite the Europa League final loss to Villarreal last season. And obviously Joe Glazer has promised Manchester United supporters that Solskjaer will get the funds that are available. But Solskjaer recently got told there'll be no funds available for a centre defensive midfielder. But it says Solskjaer's already decided on his transfer targets, and he did mention Solskjaer that he wants to strengthen up in 4 positions. Solskjaer said that he wants to make around 4 or 5 signings in this summer transfer window in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. And I'm convinced we can challenge for the title next season. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he's aware of that. Next season, I'd say Solskjaer's got to win a trophy if he is to remain Manchester United manager, because Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years ago. And that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Next season will be Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, because so far he's enjoyed 2 full seasons. He's been in charge of Man United now for around 30 months, which is over 2 years. So he's been permanent Man United manager for 27 months, because in Solskjaer's first 3 months, he was the interim manager. He did well as the interim manager in that 3-month period, so the club decided to give Solskjaer the job permanently back in March 2019. Just before the summer transfer window opened, it said Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget, to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Our transfer budget will increase though, because we are going to offload players in this summer transfer window. I'm expecting us to offload Anthony Martial. I'm expecting us to offload Donny van der Beek. Juan Mata could leave. There's a good chance we're going to offload Matic. Tellez, we could offload him. Tuanzebe, looks like we're offloading him. Delors, he's leaving. He's out on loan at the moment with AC Milan. I expect us to offload Andres Pereira permanently. He's out on loan with Lazio at the moment. I think we should offload Phil Jones in this summer transfer window. I think we should loan Brandon Williams out, because obviously he doesn't play a lot for Man United. Williams is our 3rd choice left back, so he needs to go out on loan to gain more experience. So there you go. But like I've said in regards to Solskjaer, I don't think he's the long-term manager for Man United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But, I hope Solskjaer succeeds as Man United manager, because I adore Solskjaer a lot. That the reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been here now. Reflecting now on Solskjaer's been at the club though, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job. He hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, Ollie. Before he was with us, he was at Mulder. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mulder, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Mulder, and before then he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was disastrous. He only enjoyed a short tenure at Cardiff. The reason he got sacked by Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated. And Ollie managed a Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. Ollie has under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. I think it's a mistake giving him this new 3-year contract in reality. I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But I think Ollie is our best manager since Ferguson. Even though I've criticised him a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. But there is things that I've got to credit Ollie for. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. You've got to turn around and say he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, because Ollie was inheriting a lot of deadwood. Obviously got rid of a lot of the deadwood now, but he's still inheriting some deadwood at the moment. And Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United that he had a lot to do, and, he knew it was going to be a massive job despite knowing the club through thick and thin. When Ollie got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody's been given their chances to express themselves. Ollie has made good signings as Man United manager. So far, he's spent almost 300 million, is it? When Sancho to Man United is official, I think it will be over 300 million pounds. Like I said, got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. In Solskjaer's first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, he got us to the Europa League final. I know we didn't win it, but he still got us to the final. It was his first major final as Man United manager. Last season got us to the FA Cup quarter-final and the EFL Cup semi-final. Got us a 2nd place finish last season, and last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League. So these are the things I've got to credit Ollie for. Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. The 3 managers we've sacked since Ferguson was David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we also sacked Jose Mourinho, and we're not even really known as a sacking football club. In recent years, we've overpaid for players, and in general, our recruitment's been poor for a very, very long time. But hopefully that's all going to change now in this summer transfer window. We've only won 4 trophies since Ferguson retired. That was the FA Cup under Van Gaal, and the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield under Jose Mourinho. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. The Glazers have been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. A lot of United fans have been demanding the Glazers out. There was a lot of United fans protesting against the Glazers towards the end of last season. Woodward's been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. As you all know, Woodward is resigning at the end of the year. Because it got announced earlier on this year that Woodward resigned as Man United Vice Executive Chairman. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. But yeah, these are very, very good players at Manchester United. You know, our best player last season by far was Luke Shaw. He was unbelievable. You know, Luke Shaw was the best player in the best left back in the Premier League last season. And I think Luke Shaw's had a good career at Man United, despite his injuries. You know, Shaw's endured like 7 years at Man United and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Tellez last year. By the way, Luke Shaw has hit back at Jose Mourinho. Because obviously Shaw didn't have a good relationship with Mourinho when Mourinho was Man United manager. Our actual best player is Bruno Fernandes. You know, Bruno Fernandes has made the difference in the team. In a lot of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Let's be honest, we've overplayed him. Was it last season Fernandes won Player of the Year? He's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fernandes has been at Man United now for a good 17, 18 months, is it? Obviously, Fernandes was devastated when we lost that Europa League final because obviously Fernandes made it clear that he came to Manchester to win trophies. Towards the end of last season, it says Fernandes was set to sign a new contract worth £200,000 a week. So reflecting on that, it says we was willing to double his wages. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. We got Fernandes in a deal worth just over £67 million from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Fernandes is one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes predominantly plays as a number 10. Cavani's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. You know, Cavani's good at creating chances. He's also good at scoring goals. And I'm glad Cavani's staying for next season. Romano said towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract with Man United. Mason Greenwood's also a very good player. He's been an absolute revelation, I'd say, since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season, Greenwood signed a 4-year contract. He did go a long period, though, without scoring. Sometimes I play Greenwood on the right, and sometimes I play him up top. Dean Henderson. He's a very, very good goalkeeper as well. It said not so long ago that Solskjaer's chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 goalkeeper for next season. It is the right decision. Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson's got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. And Wan-Bissaka, you know, he's a very, very good right back as well. He's just got to show more attacking intent. That's what's letting him down at the moment. But there was some games last season where he did get forward well, but defensively, Bissaka's always been superb. You know, Bissaka's endured 2 full seasons at Man United. We got him for £50 million from Palace back in the summer of 2019. Bissaka is one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Paul Pogba, you know, he's really, really improved. We've been getting the best out of Paul Pogba in recent months. You know, he does bring creativity to the team, and in quite a few games last season, we played Paul Pogba in an advanced role. He's much better in an advanced role than he is in a deeper role. Well, I hope Paul Pogba stays for next season. I think it says we want around 72 million if we are to offload him in this summer transfer window. A Paul Pogba swap deal is possible though, because there's been talks of a Varane and Pogba swap deal and the Ronaldo and Paul Pogba swap deal. I think Pogba will be happy to stay as long as we match his ambitions. He said not so long ago he has more freedom with France than at Man United. Sky Sports News said not so long ago that Man United are in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Pogba's current contract expires next year. We fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. We want to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth 104 million. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid 89 million for him and he's endured 5 seasons at Man United since it rejoined. But he has had a long running transfer saga. He's been linked to Real Madrid, PSG, his former club Juventus, and Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Scott McTominay, he's a decent player as well, but McTominay is not yet on that level where we want him to be at. The question is, can he emulate to that level? McTominay signed a 5-year contract last year. So, just after the first lockdown, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Marcus Rashford, you know, he's also good when he wants to be as well. But there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Rashford's endured his bad periods and he has become injury prone at Man United because he's now sustained quite a few injuries. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. Not keen on him on the right. You know, we played him on the right a few times last season. Centrally, he's not that good, but he's produced some good performances when he's played centrally, Rashford. Eric Bailly, you know, he's a decent centre-half as well, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury-prone, so in that aspect, he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.